you replace it with a consumption tax. And the consumption tax says that you have the opportunity to pay that or not pay it. If you don't want to buy a new car, you don't pay it. If you want to buy a used car, you don't pay it. If you don't want to buy a new first built, stick-built home, you don't pay it. But let me tell you as well, you've got incentive to buy a new car or a new home because the Ford Motor Company will not be charged on original production. So the cost of those lug nuts, those brake shoes, all go down. The cost of the studs and the sheetrock in your house goes down because they're not taxed. So those hidden taxes that you're paying now, which are huge, and even the people, almost 50% of the people that pay no federal income tax right now, and if you add those that get total refund of what they pay, which brings now up to about 70% of the United States citizens pay virtually no federal tax. They're still paying the hidden taxes. So bottom line again, the fair tax says the drug pusher, the honest citizen, everyone alike, rich, poor, all pay a basic consumption tax if they choose to buy what's taxed. Those individuals, well, everybody, but if you're concerned about those that have the least ability to pay for food, clothing, shelter, all of that, there's a prebate that goes out in the beginning of the month that takes care of the taxes that they'll pay on food, clothing, drugs, shelter, everything else. No exemptions. But that will be paid. And in the end, we still all get a savings in the process. All that to say, I support any way we can eliminate the abusive, the intrusive, the unfair, the hurtful, confusing, 2.5 feet tall tax code that presently destroys our economy and our freedom in this country. And under the fair tax, you don't have an IRS saying, tell me what you made, tell me how you made it, tell me what your holdings are. No more. No report. You're free again. And the drug pusher, who cares if all of his under-the-table dealings in the past weren't taxed? Now when he buys his new Lexus, he pays it. When he buys his food, he pays it. When he buys his clothing, he pays it.
Buys all that glitter and rings and all that.
He pays it. He pays it. So anyway, I support the fair tax. I wish it was named differently. I wish it was a fairer tax. There's no such thing as a fair tax. It's a fairer tax. If you want to read about it, Neil Bortz has a great book. Best book out there on it. Takes a lot of confusion out. And the economists that have looked at it, like David Lippman on down, have indicated that this works. And this brings freedom back to job providers, employees, general citizens alike. But, Mark, if you're listening, I don't support adding this to any taxes until it's taken off. Of course, again, the citizens have to take the constitutional step and do away with that 16% membership rate.
Looking around the room, I see I'm probably the only senior here. So,
What?
I don't know, there might be one other. I'd just like to address, or have you address, the Social Security issue. I'm on Social Security now and have been for a few years. And we didn't get a raise this last year. We're not going to get one next year because of Obama, because of the financial situation this country is facing. Fine, well and good for me, okay, because I'm on Social Security. My son lives at home, he helps out, we're making it. That's not true for many other people necessarily. What would you have a remedy for that situation? Now, you talked earlier about everybody in the country has to accept the fiscal responsibility of maybe taking less money and doing with less. I didn't need a raise this last time. So what? It's going to be fine. We don't need a raise. If it helps the country, I'm all for it. Just like you said, some of the other people in your district are addressing that issue. If we don't get one this year, okay, as long as things quit going up, we'll be fine. Okay? But what about the future? What's going to happen there? There's people here that are just scrambling